And we are live. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the End of Day Report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world's greatest trading methodology on the planet. That's right, the PulseWave Price Trigger Reports can be put in your hand each and every day, know exactly what's coming before everybody else does, and have a game plan to attack. I tell you, the big day is almost here. Tomorrow's FOMC. What is the Fed going to say, and how are they going to say it? That is the big deal. That's the big dealio. What are they going to say? How are they going to say it? What are they not going to say? How are they not going to say what they're not going to say? Man, it's going to be a lot goings on. And then if that was not enough, guess what? Here it is. You got the jobless claims on Thursday. So the plate is full, but we knew that coming into it. We knew this week was going to be a lot of earnings news and Fed week and, just a whole lot of stuff. Just stuff. So here we go. We're doing our thing. All right. So we've been riding the equity market rally these past few days. We've been loving life. Still long that euro. People who've been trading forex, they've been doing their little thing over there, doing what they got to do. But I have been riding the Russell, long that Russell, long that XLE, getting that little technical bounce in that energy space. All right, right now the XLE is outperforming the actual crude oil itself. So we are just loving it. So we'll see how much this thing goes. Only thing you can do is just move your stops, lock in more profit each and every day, and just see how this thing plays out. There right now, it's looking like there's really not a lot of end in sight. Looks like this rally actually has some legs to it. If you take a look at your reports, you will see what I mean on that. Now, just taking a look on the forex side, we know that the Canadian dollar is pulse waving positive. Australian dollar is pulse waving positive. Euro yen is pulse waving negative. British pound is pulse waving positive. And the Kiwi New Zealand dollar is pulse waving negative. And your dollar yen is also pulse waving negative. That is what we know. Looking at food, corn is pulse waving negative. Soybeans, pulse waving negative. Wheat, pulse waving negative, but we have a rally alert for tomorrow in wheat. All right. Looking at your Dow futures, we right now have a crash alert. The Dow has been getting these back-to-back crash alerts. Bitcoin Futures Composite Index is pulse waving positive. The E-mini S&P 500 is pulse waving positive, but it has a crash alert for tomorrow. Gold futures are pulse waving negative. Nat gas pulse waving negative. NASDAQ 100 primary crash alert for tomorrow. Looking at crude oil. Crude oil is pulse waving negative, but we got a rally alert for tomorrow. And last but not least, my Russell is pulse waving positive with no crash alerts in sight. Looking at silver futures is pulse waving positive, but we got a crash alert for tomorrow. So we're pulse waving negative in gold, but no crash alert. But in the silver, we're pulse waving positive, but we got a crash alert. So interesting how some of these markets are setting up. Now that was our fast, speedy look at various markets. We looked at crypto, forex, futures, and to get a kind of idea what we're looking at for tomorrow. Your gold miners is pulse waving positive, but we have a crash alert for the gold miners tomorrow. Your GLD likewise has its pulse waving positive with no alerts. Taking a look at your SLV. SLV is pulse waving negative. All right, sticking with the ETFs, we got the Ethereum ETF, which is pulse waving positive with no crash alerts. We got the Russell ETF pulse waving positive with no crash alerts. We got the real estate sector, looking at ticker IYR. We are pulse waving negative. Not a good thing. Looking at our banking ETFs, our KBE and KRE respectively, both of those are pulse waving positive. Our OIH, going back to the crude oil market for a moment, is also pulse waving positive. Looking at your QQQ, NASDAQ 100, pulse waving positive with a crash alert just like its futures contract counterpart. Your SLV, we talked about that, pulse waving negative. And your TLT, looking at those bonds. Here's an interesting one. Looking at the bonds, we're kind of like doing nothing because we have an oversold condition. There's an oversold alert, all right, for the TLT, for the bonds. So looks like it pulled back a little too much and could be looking at a technical bounce for tomorrow. But we do have some locked in bearish momentum. All right. So we'll see if we can overcome that because it has been moving that kind of way. So we'll see. All right. So we will see. This is an interesting setup for the bonds, I must say. Looking over, though, at the dollar. All right. Ticker UUP. We got a we're pulse waving negative there, but we don't have any rally alerts to go with it or anything like that. So that's just looking to continually be weak. All right. And that should do it. That's what we got. All right. Those are our alerts that we're looking at for tomorrow. We will see what kind of manifestations we get on the back of that. It's always good to look to see where we are. And that kind of gives us an idea of what we can expect for tomorrow. So we got our game plan, we got our reports, that's our marching orders. So we know exactly what we are looking at and what we can expect for tomorrow. Very interesting setup. I kind of felt that it was going to be a lot of light work. You know what I'm saying? So I figured we wouldn't get too much action leading up to that Fed announcement. And also, you know, those jobless claims will be watched heavy because people want to know what's really going on out there in the world. All right. So I gave you our alerts and what kind of market we were looking forward to for tomorrow. Now it's time to take a look at the charts and see what the charts are looking like. At the end of the day, the charts can only tell us but so much. Even the algo charts, which are infinitely more accurate than just your standard chart, it still does not tell the whole story. That's why we have the report. The report breaks down more than what we can do with this chart. So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. So starting off here with the bonds, ticker TLT. You see here we have we're still sideways. We're not doing a lot. Here's that negative momentum. Really no clear signs of too much, except for where we kind of overdid it a little bit with the pullback, but not really when you take a look at we're coming off the back of that primary crash alert. So, you know, the analysis has been spot on. This one's just not doing much at the moment and could possibly bounce if we get a pullback tomorrow. But here's the thing. If we don't get a pullback tomorrow in the equity market, the bonds could still rally. All right, we've been in this dislocated environment in the markets for quite some time now. I've posted many a video showing where all of the markets are literally moving together. I've done live videos showing where gold, silver, Bitcoin, the dollar, stocks, and bonds are all moving together in the same direction, which is not supposed to be possible. I've showed videos where the US dollar was positive and so was all the other currencies, which is not supposed to happen. But yes, there have been numerous times in the last decade where that has been true, where every market is moving in the same direction at the same time, which is not supposed to happen. All right, so the correlations in these markets have all but collapsed. All right, so I figured you needed to know that. All right, here's Swan. You can see that it's still lifting off nice and slow, beginning stages of a bullish weekly trend momentum, and that's what you like to see. And I'm still holding that long Swan right now. Long Swan, long XLE, and long Russell futures. Taking a look here at the Spider ETF, the SPY, got that primary crash alert for tomorrow. I know it's FOMC, but you can't ignore these signals. Market's threatening to fall below the trend line support if we get production out of this crash alert. All things being equal, the last crash alert that we got above the trend line support did manifest. We got production. The market did drop below the trend line support on that call. All right, so all things being equal, there's no reason why we cannot expect production tomorrow off of this crash alert. All right, the crash alert before that also saw production. The one before that also got us production. The last one before that one also we got production. And the last one before that one also gave us production. So there's been no confusion or indecision within the alerts. All right, so that's SPY, S&P 500 ETF. Moving on to silver by way of the SLV on the ETF side of things. Look at this, guys. Market can't move. It's not moving. We're getting that sideways to slightly lower prices, which is what you expect in a consolidation and being within the Kumo cloud of death. You expect this. So the market is doing what it expects, what you expect it to do. It's doing it. It's showing you what's really happening. This overhead trend line resistance that is in the Kumo cloud is acting as a powerful resistance. Last time the market got up here, it fell too. All right, so again, there's no indecision on this one either. I'm still calling this one sideways to slightly lower prices over the next 3 to 5 days. It is what it is, okay? Let's see, my man JC in the live stream got a question. Is it true that there is a historical cycle rule that no bull run in any market lasts more than 12 years? No, that's not true at all. I have to disagree with that. And the reason being is because technically speaking, remember, the equity market, okay, it has updraft built into it. The model of the equity market is designed for upward lift. Over the past, I mean, you can start from any time you want to start. You can go pick any year. We are higher than we were then. You know you can't ignore that fact. The Dow is higher now than it was 12 years ago. It's higher now than it was 15 years ago. It's higher today than it was 20 years ago. It's higher today than it was 30 years ago. It is higher today than it was 50 years ago, and so on and so forth. So no, you can't say that there's a 12-year cycle. I've never heard of that, never seen it, never experienced it, don't know what they're talking about. And that one, I would have to see the report or the analysis on that, but according to what I have seen, no. Nope. History does repeat itself. You can make an argument, though, that there's some kind of rhyme or reason to an 8-year cycle. You could make that You could even say that the markets are keen to certain numbers as well. You can say that 8, if you really want to go there as far as market analysis and things of that nature, you could make the argument that 8 is an unlucky number or unlucky number for the markets. You could say something like that. You could make several different types. I mean, there's numbers. I've seen number analysis all over the place. But you can say that years ending in 8 tend to be difficult. You could make that. You could make an argument for that. You know what I'm saying? You could say every 8 years there's a problem. It depends on how you do the analysis. All right, you can make arguments for it either way. All right, because in the year 2000 we had the bubble burst. In the year 2008 we had the financial crisis. All right, and then that brings us to 2016, and then we get up to today. We're only halfway within the next 8-year cycle, but it doesn't matter because it's not like that. It's a weird thing. It's hard to quantify, but we just know that certain things do exist and show themselves up. History does tend to repeat itself, such as the 100-year cycle, things like that. But yeah, that's something that you could look into. I mean, it may be true for certain markets. I know commodities have very long periods where they're just flat and then they just explode. All right, so it just depends. All right, so your SLV sideways to lower prices over the next 3 to 5 days. Boom. QQQ. I gave you the report analysis. Now let's look at the chart. Primary crash alert for tomorrow. Not looking so tough. We'll see what happens. We are under the umbrella of the bullish weekly trend momentum, so you never know. But that I don't know. I think we may get some production on this one. For a brief time today, the Nasdaq did go negative. It went negative by quite a lot, actually. So we could get some production. If we do, that's going to put us in the Kumo cloud or even technically drop below it. It could happen, folks. You just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, looking at the OIH, I gave the report reading on that one. Looking at the chart itself, see what I mean? You can't really tell anything on this chart. Looking at this chart, this thing will be dead in the water. You would skip and go to another security to trade because there's no money here. There's nothing on the table for you. There's nothing on the table here for you. No money to be had here. The market isn't doing anything. All right. So this one is also nothing. I got nothing for you. Looking at Litecoin. Litecoin is dead in the Kumo cloud, man, and that's just what it is. We got nothing. We're going absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. All right. Looking at your junk bonds, going nowhere. Flat. There's just no production. A lot of these, there's just no production. The markets aren't doing anything. They don't want to do anything. They're just exhausted. Here's your real estate IYR. It got up in the Kumo cloud, but look at the respect that it's paying to the overhead trend line resistance. It's paying mad respect. Last time we got up here, we did get a primary crash alert, and we got mad production. Why should this time be any different? I'm just not seeing anything to be bullish about at this point in time. All right, we got this primary rally alert. Market came up here and looks like it's exhausted. It hit its head on the overhead resistance, and that's just it. It can't really do too much. Just saying. Moving on. All right, so taking here, this is your HDGE. I haven't been talking too much about it because it's been giving us negative production. We got this crash alert right here, primary crash alert, and look at all the production we're getting. The market is just falling off of the cliff, and it's beginning to accelerate momentum-wise to the downside. So we're finally getting that break, and it looks like this ticking time bomb is about to turn into a bear, which means that the Bull market and equities could be here to stay for a while, folks. It could be true. We may have more technical bouncing in the equity market to go if your HDGE is falling off like that. Dude done fell off. All right, here is your hack. All right, here's hack, HACK. You know, we've been getting the little tricklings of news as far as, data breaches and things of that nature. But it looks like that's coming to an end because now we got a primary crash alert. The last one didn't give us any production at all, but the one before that did give us production. So we'll see what's up. So yeah, that didn't give us nothing. This one did produce. This one didn't give us nothing. This one did produce. This one produced. So it could be that time. It looks like the hack could be double topping right here. All right, so it seems like it's having some problems with the 41, 42 area. All right, that's a good thing as far as our Illuminati indicator goes. The world could be at peace for a few more days. I think we'll get production out of this one, though. I think this could be that pullback that could start the correction. All right. Tough to say, though. It's really hard to say with this one. So I would just have to go with whatever the report is suggesting that we do. All right, moving along. Here is GLD. All right, GLD has been coming off. This crash alert has been giving us production on the downside. Can't ignore that. Fill this gap here. Are we on an expedition of gap filling? That is the question. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Moving on to the next one. All right, GDXJ, G to the D to the X to the J. We got a crash alert here. The last one really wasn't productive at all. Is this one going to be any different? All right, the one prior to this one was productive. All right, so I don't know. Is the market getting top heavy? I don't know. We are in a bull market. Momentum is kind of flattened out. It's tough to say here. We're not really going anywhere. We're like 3 days in a row now of the price being the same. Almost looking like the market was closed for 3 days. We need to get some type of momentum going, and we're just not seeing it. Maybe because gold has been a little flat and pulling back here. That could be weighing on this sector. We are in earnings seasons as well, so there could be some equity challenges here. So we'll see. All right, but that's what that is. Crash alert for tomorrow on your gold miners. Taking a look here on the forex side of town. Here's your pound sterling. Pound sterling is always struggling at this overhead trend line resistance. Just can't get it going. And we're going nowhere in the pound sterling for right now. Who knows which way it's going to break, but as of right now, that 125 handle is proving to be a little tough. All right, taking a look at the Ethereum ETF, which is ETHE, and you're in the Kumo cloud here too. Market struggling. It's really respecting this resistance zone and just moving sideways, both outside and inside of the Kumo cloud. I don't know. You're in a bull market, but you are flat and struggling with the resistance. The momentum is struggling right now. All right, taking a look here at Ethereum going into the cash market. Your Ethereum is finally outside of the Kumo cloud, but it's going nowhere. And we got a primary crash alert. Haven't gotten any production out of that. So are we going to see that the bull is really back here? Is it ready to blast off, or are we going to fail? Your trend line is not out of the Kumo cloud. It needs to get up out of there if we're going to see anything happening. All right. So right now we're flat. We're going nowhere in Ethereum. All right. Going back over to the forex side of town, looking at your Canadian dollar. It's been falling, pulling back toward trend line support. Is it going to bounce again like it did back here, or are we going to roll over? All right. This is a baby bull. It's just starting out. Can we get some production? Got to first get out of that Kumo cloud. Can we get out of the Kumo cloud? That is the question. All right. Taking a look now at your Bitcoin Futures Composite Index. We are now north of the Kumo cloud, north on the trend line, starting to get a little bit of lift off here. Market is finding it difficult around the 8,000 mark. Remember, I told you that your resistance zones were going to start to get a little bit tougher, as you move ahead. And that's exactly what is happening. We're getting a little bit tougher in your zone here. And the market is finding it very difficult to progress. So I don't know what's going to happen. We will see. I don't know what to tell you. How far can we go? It's up to the market. But right now, the Bitcoin is struggling around the 8,000 mark. We'll have to keep our eye on it for the next couple of days. Taking a look at your Aussie. Aussie right now is bullish, the trend line support, bullish the Kumo cloud, and arcing up. So it looks like the Aussie wants to run. Got a secondary rally alert. Market gave us some production. Let's see what the overnight market has for us going into tomorrow. Can we get a nice trend going here, a bull trend? Market is trying to. It hasn't locked it in yet, but it is trying. So we'll see what happens with the Aussie. Does it have enough to pull it off? All right, taking a look here at silver futures. Again, the overhead trend line resistance is proving to be a problem for silver. What's going to happen? The longer you float up here, you're going to start inviting the sellers to come back in like you did back here. Sellers came and beat it down. We need to see some commitment from the bulls if the silver is going to get a go at it. If not, then we're just going to be stuck here in first gear. Looking at your gold futures, same problem. All right, market came down and then finished on the high end of the range, and we pretty much got an exact close as we did the day before. Nothing really went down. So we got this primary crash alert. Market did produce. We got some production out of it, but is it more to come? This formed a pointer, a bearish pointer, like the one back here. Are we coming back down to the trend line support? Are we going down to 1650 in the gold? Or is it going to get its act together and start breaking out and acting like a currency? When is gold going to start acting like there's some hyperinflation in food and energy? When? When? Giddy up, gold. All right. Looking at the US dollar index, as you can see, we're still correcting off of the nice 103 highs, and the market is really trying to stay above its par and struggling to do so, testing the support of the trend line right here. So this one is being called sideways to slightly lower prices as well as the market consolidates. Looking at the Dow futures, which has been getting very weak. You get these rally pops and then it drops. Pop and drop is all we're getting. All right, so here it is. We got that rally alert, got that production. Now we got a crash alert inside of the Kumo cloud. Is this going to be enough to push it below the cloud, or do we get that reversal and get out of the cloud tomorrow based on whatever the Fed says? All right, this is looking interesting. Looks like the Dow is at a crossroads. Looks like it wants to rally though. Taking a look at the Russell. All right, small caps are looking dangerous. Bumped his head right here at the top of the Kumo cloud resistance, but this one looks like it's gathering in the oomph factor and looks like the market wants to rally. Looks like the market wants to rally, folks. I think we could get that kind of production out of this. We could. I think the market wants to go from from bearish to bullish. All right. Looks like we could have the beginning of that right here, folks. Right here. Looks like we could have some fireworks here in the Russell. Come on, Russell. You can do it. Get back up to that 1400. Looking at the crude oil futures. Crude oil futures are double bottoming. Did I not call that? Did I not tell you that we were going to come and do that? Come on, man. This bearish pointer was telling. And it's not over yet because now all you did was create another pointer today. What you going to do, crude oil? Your momentum is just bearish. There is like no bullishness in sight anywhere. Nada. Anytime the bulls stick their heads up, the bears come and chop it off. All right, you got trend line below Kumo cloud now, price below Kumo cloud. What is going on with the oil? It is just dead in the water. It can't get up. It's been knocked out. I think the referee's about to count to 10 and just ring that bell. Here's your NASDAQ 100 futures. You got really powerful, and then you now have a crash alert for tomorrow. Will there be further pulling back toward the trend line support, or do we ignore what happened today and the market reverses and rallies tomorrow? Your momentum's on your side. You're in a bull market. That is the only one that's in a bull market. No one else is in a bull market. All the other indices are in a bear market. The tech sector is being proven to be the strongest. Is it going to be the leader and lead the rest of the market out of the dumps? Tomorrow's a pivotal day. We shall see. Taking a look at your E-mini S&P 500, it's still a ticking time bomb too. Got a crash alert on that dude tomorrow. And it's been struggling at the resistance levels above the Kumo cloud. Is it about to drop back in it? Tomorrow will tell. Taking a look here, I think it's all up in the air. We'll have to see what the markets do tomorrow. I don't know if you can tell it in my voice or not, but I am absolutely beat. I am exhausted. I don't have no more energy in me. I don't have no more reports in me right now. I am just wore the heck out. I am sleepy to poo right now. All right. Forget the 100-acre woods. I just want to lay in my 100-acre bed. You know what I'm saying? A brother is tired. Eyes tired. We're gonna see what these markets do tonight, though. Tonight's gonna be important. Leading up to that announcement tomorrow, that 2:15. Sometimes they change and do it at 2 o'clock. Sometimes it's 2:15. I think we're gonna get it at 2:15 tomorrow. That report. So it is what it is, man. FOMC tomorrow, baby. Then Thursday we got jobless claims. If we get another like 10, 15 billion jobs lost this Thursday, it's game over, man. Seriously, it's gonna be game over. The age of man is over. Now is the age of the org. That's what the markets will be saying if we take a dive between tomorrow and Thursday. I think the market can actually pull a rabbit out of the hat and rally into Friday. All right. So yeah, the real number is like 27 million jobs lost, fam. All right. The US has lost 27 million jobs. I'm not kidding. It is ridiculous. All right. This is you can't come back from that. Now, if they say we lost even if they say we lost 1 million jobs, that would be crazy. That would be tough. But we done lost 20 million, dude. We haven't produced 20 million jobs in 10 years. Seriously, this is really scary. People should be shaking in their boots right now. Seriously. All right. Um, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So be encouraged out there. All right. If you got any kind of a nest egg, you need to come and learn how to trade these markets so you can generate some type of earnings for yourself. All right. All is not lost. If you have any kind of a nest egg, you need to get in these markets. Seriously. All right. Because we're going to have some movements. I told you, big moves are on the horizon. And you're going to want to have your orders working in the market to take advantage of it. All right, fam. So keep y'all head up, man. And I will see y'all tomorrow morning for the pre-market pulse scan. And the rest of you, I will also see in the trading room. All right. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.